Children, today we are going to discuss subtopic of metals and non-metal, that is displacement reaction. Children, in previous reactions you have seen some metals they are highly reactive and some metals are least. So we can arrange the common metals in order of decreasing reactivity, and this is called what? Reactivity series. You have seen this arrangement, okay, and highly reactive metals we have placed uh, in the table, like first, second, like this in decreasing order. Potassium is highly reactive, then sodium, then barium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, nickel, stainless, plumbum, then hydrogen. Children, hydrogen, why I have written hydrogen? Hydrogen is not a metal, it is non-metal. But you have seen hydrogen, like when we dissociate water, okay, electrolysis takes place, hydrogen form positive ion, okay, and oxygen is having negative. Because of its positive ion we have placed in reactivity series, okay. So which can replace hydrogen, we have placed them above this hydrogen, and which cannot replace this, we have placed them below, like least reactive metal. Least reactive metals are, I told you, we call them noble metal, like iron, platinum, silver, gold. Okay, these are least reactive metals and we call them noble metals, and we have placed them below hydrogen. Okay, children. So metals can replace another metal placed below it in the reactivity series, but cannot replace a metal placed above it in the reactivity series. Children, I am telling you by giving an example. Like one example, I have taken this magnesium. Okay, you know magnesium in reactivity series, it is above copper. Suppose copper is here, above copper. Okay, now I have taken copper sulfate. This magnesium can replace copper and it will give what? Magnesium sulfate and copper. Okay, but if we do the reaction with magnesium sulfate and copper, this copper is below magnesium in reactivity series, so it will not give any reaction. It will not give any reaction. Okay, same way with the iron and copper sulfate. Iron, copper sulfate. Iron, because it is above the copper, so iron can replace copper and it will form iron sulfate. And what would be formed? What would be released? Copper. But if we react iron sulfate with copper, then no reaction will take place. Okay. So this is what? Displacement reaction. One metal displaces other if it is above in like more reactive than the other metal. Now children, our next topic is, after this we are going to discuss uses of metals. Uses of metals. First metal we are going to discuss iron. Children, iron we have divided in three parts. In what manner we have divided? Like how much carbon they contain. First example of this iron is what? Pig iron. What is pig iron? In this, okay, high carbon content is there. Carbon is too much. It is used to make pipes, sinks, storage tanks, railings, etc. And what do we call that? Pig iron. Second iron I am going to tell you, that is wrought iron. ROUGHT. Okay, wrought iron. In this, the carbon quantity is very less. Okay, and it is very tough. Wrought iron is very tough and malleable form of iron with very little carbon content. Where we use it is used to make nails, bolts, chains, wire nets, etc. Third is steel. Children, these two you must have not heard, but this you must have heard. In this, the carbon content is 0.5 to 1.5%. It is used in construction of buildings, shape, bridges, etc. Now we are coming to the copper. Next metal is copper. Copper is used in electric wires. All you know this. Okay. Electric wires. Electric wires, heating utensils, car radiators, and it is also used in making alloys. Now next is aluminium. Aluminium, very light metal. Okay. Aluminium is used in overhead cables. It is used for cooking utensils and for packing food. All you have seen aluminium foil in your home. Aluminium alloy is very light. Duralumin is alloy. It's very light. What is the property? The alloy of aluminium are very light and strong. They are used to make the body of engine parts of aircrafts and cars. Now come to the zinc. Zinc is used. It is used to make dry cells. Okay, and galvanizing of iron. Very important uses what? Galvanizing. Like on iron, we plate this zinc, and that makes that very strong. Okay, rusting cannot take place, and that is called galvanizing of iron. It is used for also preparing alloys. Zinc is also used to prepare alloys such as brass, bronze, and German silver. We will discuss about this later on. Now come to the lead. Lead plumbum. Okay, lead is used for making electrodes for automobile batteries. Then steel or iron plates with the coating of tin. Steel is also steel, I told you already. Now come to chromium. Chromium is what? It's a metal. Chromium electroplated on iron gives it a corrosion resistant shining finish. Children, bicycle and all you have seen, car bumpers, etc. Shine is there just because of chromium. Nickel is electroplated on other metal to give them a corrosion resistant finish. It is also used to make alloys. Titanium is a light, strong, corrosion resistant metal. It is used to make bodies of aircraft. Mercury being a liquid, it is used in thermometer and barometer. Now children, we are going to discuss uses of metals and non-metals and metalloids. And metalloids. As you know, silicon is what? Metalloid. Use of silicon. Children, silicon is extensively used in the... First, we will discuss about silicon. Silicon is extensively used in electronic and computer industries to make devices such as transistors, microchips, and solar cells. And silicones, which are made of silicon, which are used for making waterproof clothes, greases, and polishes. Now come to the sulfur. This is non-metal. is used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid, okay, for industrial purposes. And then vulcanization of rubber, which makes rubber hard enough to be used in tires. And it is also used for making ointment, like with skin ointment having fungicidal properties. Okay, now next is phosphorus. Phosphorus is used in making matchboxes and in the fireworks industry. It is used in the manufacture of phosphate fertilizers. Now come to the carbon. Carbon is, as graphite is used in making the lead of pencils, electrodes in dry cells. Okay. Carbon as a diamond is used in jewelry and in making cutting tools. Carbon as charcoal is used in filters to purify air and water. Carbon as coal is used as fuel. So in four forms we can use carbon: graphite, diamond, and charcoal and coal. Now come to the hydrogen, children. Hydrogen is used for the manufacture of ammonia. Hydrogen. Okay. And from ammonia we can make fertilizers. It is used in the extraction of metals such as copper, lead, and tin in the metallurgy. Next is oxyhydrogen flame, obtained by burning hydrogen in oxygen, is used for cutting and welding metals. Hydrogen is considered to be a non-polluting fuel for the future. Okay. Now children, come to the non-metal uses of non-metals. Noble metals. Uses of noble metals. Noble metals are those metals which are least reactive. Platinum, gold, silver, I told you already. Okay. Noble metals are mainly used to make ornaments, jewelry. Okay. Gold and silver are also used to give a decorative and protective coating on other metals by the process of electroplating. Gold and silver are used for making high value coins. Gold and silver coins are available in the market, you are aware. Platinum is used in electrical gadgets. The international standard of weight and measures are made of platinum iridium alloys. In Indian Physical Laboratory in Delhi, they are there. So all the international standards of weight and measures are made of platinum iridium alloys. Now come to the next topic, corrosion. Children, all metals are there, they react with acid, base, oxygen. So what happened? Corrosion takes place. Corrosion is the process by which materials such as metal are slowly eaten away when exposed to air and moisture. Very good example is iron. All you know rusting of iron. All you know about rusting of iron. Children, you know when any object made of iron left outside, exposed to air and moisture, then what happened? Rusting takes place. And this rusting is what? Iron oxide. In class 7th you must have learned iron oxide. For what two conditions are important for rusting of iron? That moisture and air. What part of air? Oxygen. Moisture and air. Air means oxygen must be present in that. Okay. Now corrosion of other metals we are going to discuss. Copper gets corroded in the presence of moist air. Okay. First, it first tarnishes, then gradually changes to dark brown or black, and finally to green. Thus, green coating is a mixture of copper compound. Children, silver also. What happened? silver like react with sulfur. Silver does not get easily corroded in unpolluted air. However, if the air is polluted, means what is present? Sulfur. If sulfur compound is present, such as hydrogen sulfide, silver react with that. Like silver, this is silver. Okay. Hydrogen sulfide is present as pollutant. It react and it forms silver sulfide. It forms Ag2S plus O. Sorry, H2. Okay, and this is the reaction. It forms silver sulfide. On exposure to air, aluminum react with oxygen to form a protective coating of aluminum oxide. I told you when aluminum react with oxygen, it forms a layer of aluminum oxide, and this is called anodization. Okay, prevention of corrosion. Ab just you have seen these metals, they are like rusting of iron and corrosion of other metal can be prevented by not allowing air to come in contact with the metal. Some metal for doing this are given. How we are going to protect such metals which are like rust, or which like copper tarnishes and silver tarnishes? How we can protect these metals? First, by applying oil. Like iron object, if we want to avoid that it comes in contact with the air, what we do? We cover it with the oil. A thin layer is going to form. It can stop the air to come in contact with the metal, and this way we can protect the metal. Okay. Second is covering with another metal. Depositing a layer of another metal which is more resistant to corrosion is another commonly used method. There are some methods I am going to tell you. First is galvanizing. Children, in this what we do? We galvanize iron. Suppose any iron container is there and we know it can rust. Okay. And what we can do now? We can cover or galvanize it with the zinc. A protecting layer is formed over this iron. Okay, and this zinc does not corrode. This way we can protect iron. And what do we call this method? Galvanizing. So clean iron sheet are dipped in molten zinc to deposit a layer of zinc on it. This process is called galvanization. Okay. Next is electroplating. The process of electroplating is used to deposit a metallic layer to prevent corrosion. Children, you must have heard about electroplating. Like keys. Keys are made of iron. If we cover them, keys are there by electroplating method. Okay, we cover them with the other metal which cannot rust. So you have seen keys, they shine due to the deposition of chromium, nickel, etc. And tin, you must have heard. Tin is also electroplated on iron to make food container. Like packed food you have seen, they come in the tin. So what do they do? Tin is a chemical. They by electrolysis method. By which method? Electrolysis method. This method we will discuss later on. Electroplating. What do we call this method? Okay. By this method we pass electric current and the tin other metal we deposit, which is corrosion free. Okay, on the metal which can corrode easily. So tin is electroplated on iron to make food containers, commonly called tin cans. Chromium is electroplated on steel furniture and bicycle handle. You have seen the shining bicycle handle and some steel furniture. What is deposited on that? Electroplating of chromium is there. Okay. Now we are coming to the next, that is very important, that is anodizing. Anodizing of aluminium. Aluminium. Children, what takes place in this? Just see. It consists of passing an electric current through sulfuric acid using aluminium as anode. Same way like in we do in electroplating, but I am telling you what exactly is anodizing. A layer of aluminium oxide is formed on aluminium. Okay, suppose this is the sheet of aluminium. On this, when it come in contact with water, it forms what? A layer of aluminium oxide, Al2O3. Okay, aluminium oxide, this layer now further protects this aluminium from corrosion. Okay, this prevents further corrosion of aluminium. If this layer is made more uniform, it protects the aluminium underneath more effectively. Okay, next method is to protection of metal is alloying. What is alloying? Some metals become corrosion resistant when alloyed with other metal, like they are mixed with other metal. For example, stainless steel, which is an alloy of iron. Stainless steel is an, I am going to tell you more about alloy. Iron, chromium and nickel. These three are mixed together and then stainless steel is formed. Okay, I am telling you more metals, alloy, examples of alloy. First is brass. Brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. Okay, children. And what are the properties? It is hard, corrosion free, corrosion resistant. And what are the uses? Utensils, electrical goods, cartridge, containers, parts of watches and musical instruments. Next is bronze. Bronze is made of copper and tin.